I am Imagic's Ambassador at Large. My full title is actually His Excellency Ambassador at Large Dr. Simon M. Robson. I write lots of books under the name S. Rob. It's been said I've wrote more books on the occult than anyone else in the English language. I've also wrote some books under the name Simon Rob as well. But I'm here to talk about Imagick. Imagick is a non-government, not-for-profit organisation. I'll repeat that. Imagick is a not-for-profit organisation. It is not here to make money. In fact, Imagick has a much larger, grander and more important aim, and that is to save the occult legacy. And this isn't just about saving the occult legacy for a few people. It's about saving it for everybody. I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, magic won't die. But you see, what would die would be our magic. And by that I mean real magic. The magic of the human race. Magic would simply become an uncontrollable force in the world that nobody would have any control over. This would therefore mean you'd be adding more randomness into the world. Things would happen, and it would also leave us in a more vulnerable position. Okay, I don't want you to think that this is just a cultural thing, because it's not. Because yes, occultism has existed a very long time. You know, humanity have been practicing it for, well, how long can we say? Certainly thousands of years. But the thing is, this doesn't mean that it wouldn't exist anywhere else. You know, I'll be quite blunt, because if you're watching this, then you're probably an occultist already. And the fact of the matter is, there's not just us in creation. And I don't just mean little animals and things like this. I mean, there isn't just humanity. There's other things as well. Other things that exist. Whether they are conjured up by thought, whether we are conjured up by thought, other things do exist. And in reality, without occultism, without real magic, what would we do? Let us be honest. We will have seen people walking around whose view of reality is limited to things that they can bang the shin on. You know, the idea that things are only real if you can bang into them. You know, if they're like physical matter. That isn't even the official line of science at all, any science. So we're talking not just a matter of saving occultism, but really saving people, because it's gone too far. The process has gone too far when people have been blocked. You know, occultism being kept off the mainstream media to a large extent, you know. No one ever does programs about how to teach how to do occultism, or radio shows or things like this, and maybe we can't change that. But we have to push occultism forward, okay? And that means that we need you, Imagick needs you. And the reason for that is we're trying to save everybody, not just a few people. We're not just trying to save occultism for a chosen few. We're trying to save it for the world, okay? And that's really what the mission is, what we're trying to do here. But also think about it. What would a world be like without the level of thought that occultism gives people? It wouldn't just kill off occultism. It would probably mean the end of philosophy. After all, philosophy may seem quite different in some respects, but I tend to think that one exists with the other, really. Occultists can be incredibly philosophical in how we think. You know, we're easily able to believe things based on information, not simply through whether we can bang into it. So we're talking, you know, this is a big deal, okay? We know this isn't going to get a lot of coverage in the press. That the press are never going to think about, you know, we have to save occultism. It's never going to happen, okay? But that's part of the things we're working against. But it does mean that Imagick is a good organisation to join. If you're not a member, then I believe you should be. And the reason is that, you know, it will help you grow as a person. In actual fact, it is my belief that people are better when they do the occult than when they don't. And the reason for this is that, you know, it's been around for so long, it's part of what it is to be human, to be fully human. And this is why many people, when they do the occult, become more successful, they become better, they feel better, fuller, more confident people. And that's the reason, because people are meant to. You know, you're not meant to not do it. You're not meant to just live a life without occultism. Although people can choose to, and we have to respect the fact that if someone doesn't want to practice the occult, that is their choice as well. But let's be honest, as occultists, we don't have trouble with tolerance. We tend to be very tolerant to other people and their beliefs, you know, and even how they want to act. But I explained it well. Occultism, to a large extent, is about human will. It can also be about belief, but it also has many elements to it. You know, you've got the words and thought, visualization. Also, it can be visual. You can have sigils. You know, there's not many things that can't be occult, and that is an indication that occultism goes to the very core of this world, the very core of who people are and who we need to be. You know, technology is great, you know, because I'm here talking and I'm being recorded, and it's a great thing, but, you know, there's other things as well. Not that technology can't be occult and we can't use it for real magic, because we can. But I want to make it well known that, you know, we shouldn't just need these things. We have other elements which are inherent to us, and we cannot risk losing those things. We have to keep them. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that what we have to do is simply preserve a legacy of magic. In actual fact, I think that we have to move it forward. And this means that we all have heard things in the past of what people could do and great magicians. And some of these may be legendary figures like Merlin, although Merlin really just means the name of a person that serves the royal family as an occultist. So that includes John Dee as well. But these legendary figures. And what we have to do is to realise that we have to push things forward. Maybe even past the point of legend. We have to go push past that as far as we can and embrace what we need to in order to grow and move forward. Because really, for all of us, not just us listening to this, but those that aren't, we need to think of it in terms of becoming more than we are. I believe, and this is my opinion, the human race is on a cusp. We're at a point of change where we either become more than we were or we become a lot less. And that is at the very least of what we risk, okay? And we have to fight because nobody else will, okay? Don't think there's going to be an official organisation, like a government organisation that's going to help you, because it isn't. And magic's what we've got, okay? But you know what we do have? We have each other. And we also have the power of magic. And that flows through all of us. And we can all learn to use it. And we can use that to save us, save everyone. Because if we don't, it'll just be a continual decline. And decline downwards until basically people will get less clever, less creative. It'll just be a downward spiral, and once it goes past a certain point, there won't be anything you can do to stop it. We have to do this now. You know, this is an emergency, okay? Don't get me wrong, we're not at the point where we can't do anything, but you know, if we wait that long, there won't be anything we can do. Then we will be in trouble. We'll be facing a situation where there will be very little chance of doing it, even with magic, even with real magic on our side. And so we have to use Imagick, this organisation, to help us. Learn from it, and also let it learn from you as well. You know, and all help each other to push magic forward, because this isn't really about a few people or a lot of people. It's about people working together, and that's what it is, you know. We need to try and push what we all do forward, so we can all increase magic, the power of it, the power we have, you know, and learn from it, and others learn from it and move forward. And another thing is as well, which I suppose is sometimes an unpopular notion nowadays, but nevertheless true, is the idea that, you know, we are not the only intelligent species. You know, much of magic is done using and commanding other entities. Now that's something that I'm a very strong believer of, is that a lot of these entities are there to be commanded. Not all occultists do that, but I believe it helps us increase in power, and by that I mean everyone, I mean the human race. But also as well, we have to think about it. if we can gain in power, we can lose in power to them. Do we really want to be in the situation where we get commanded by them, where we, to all inherent purposes, become their servants? Okay? You know, we're not just looking at this on different levels. We've got to think about it as what it would do for other people. They may not realise that they became their servants, that's the thing. But would it help? We really need to know that we're not. We really need to know that we need to help each other. And this means that all the different organisations, there is other occult organisations as well, that in any organisations you're a member of, you know, you have to stop fighting each other. You know, you have to stop. Some people who are firm preservers of tradition think nothing should be changed. And other people like myself who want to push things forward have to realise that we don't want to get rid of knowledge. I don't want to get rid of knowledge. I want to add to it. And that's what I want to tell you all to do and ask you to do here, is to, you know, really joining Imagick is a great thing to do. But also let it be part of a bigger thing here, okay? What I really want you to do is to, you know, expand, try different forms of magic if you can, but spread the word. Spread the word about Imagick, the organisation, and also spread the word that real magic is here and it is not going away. The human power of magic, which flows from our own abilities but also our mastery of it, is here to stay. We're not going away. It doesn't matter how many organisations want to get rid of magic, how many organisations want to block us from the media or try to give people a view of the world that we don't exist. We're not going away. We're staying, and we're going to increase our numbers, and through it we're going to bring a better world.